Yo, it's your boy WesTheTech here to bring you another one of my personal favorite tech tips to help you as an artist growing your craft. Now, today we're going to go over how to create a music artist EPK, all right? So if you're a recording artist who wants to know exactly how to create an EPK because somebody is requiring you to submit one, or you just want to build your credibility as a recording artist, then this is the perfect video for you, because in this video, I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about EPKs as far as what they are, why you need them, and how to actually create one. All right. Now, before I continue, I definitely want to let you guys know about my free music business checklist tool that's available to download off of my website right now. This is for any one of you guys who's looking into starting your own music business but don't quite know where to start. With this free tool, you actually be able to identify 3 things that you could do right away to start your own music business. So if you want to grab this free tool today, you could click on the link above. I will also leave a link in the descriptions below. All right. Now let's get down to this EPK. Now, some of you may be asking, what exactly is an EPK? Well, the actual acronym term is actually an electronic press kit. All right. Now, what this essentially is, the easiest way that I can describe this to you as an artist is it is essentially your resume as an artist, right? Or you could also look at it as maybe a brochure of everything that you are as an artist. All right, that is actually what an EPK is. Sometimes you will have certain music platforms, certain radio stations, right? Maybe a big festival or a concert may actually submit an EPK because they want to know everything about you without you actually having to tell them, right? That's why I like to call it a resume, because it works in the exact same way, right? When you're applying for a job, you could tell the person everything that you're about, your prior work history, your education, all of those different things. Or you could just submit your resume to them and they could review it on their own. That's essentially what an EPK is for an artist, which is why it is very important for you to actually have one as an artist. Now, of course, not everybody's going to ask for an EPK. It's not something that you're going to always need when it comes to submitting your music, but it is something vital to have, especially if you want people to take you seriously as a recording artist. If you want people to take you as a professional, this is something that you absolutely must have and must create as soon as possible. All right. And in this video, I'm actually going to show you the easiest way to actually do that. All right. So when it comes to actually creating an EPK, there's no better place to create it than Canva. All right. Canva is absolutely awesome when it comes to this, as even if you have the free version of it, it can actually set you up for success when it comes to the creation of your EPK. All right. Now, all you essentially would have to do is open up a new Canva file, right? And all you would have to search up is an actual media kit template. All right. Now, what an EPK is, it's basically hand in hand the same as a media kit. It's just different industries have different names for it. For photographers, they call it a media kit. For musicians, they call it an EPK, right? But it's essentially the same thing, which is why you could use a media kit template to at least start the design of what you want for your EPK. All right. But once you have, picked your design and everything like that, you could then go into actually creating your EPK. But stop. I'm going to stop you guys right here, right now. Before we continue, there's one very, very important thing that you must have before you actually can create a really professional EPK. And that thing is quality high resolution photos. You guys absolutely need high resolution photos. If you do not have high resolution photos, you need to create a few of them before you can actually create an EPK, because high resolution pictures is a big part of what makes an EPK an EPK, right? You have to have those pictures. They have to look great. They have to look professional. You cannot have an EPK with pictures that you've taken off of your phone in the dark. It's just not going to bode well for you, and nobody's going to take you seriously with those type of pictures. But if you already have professional pictures, or you've already went ahead and got some professional pictures, then we could continue with this process. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all the most important pages that you need to have as part of your EPK, and we're going to start with the cover page. The cover page is the front page of your EPK, right? Think of it, like I said, as a brochure or a resume, maybe the cover letter to your resume. It's the first page that they're going to see when they open your PDF file showing your EPK, right? So you want to make sure, of course, you have your quality photo there. Hint why I said that you need quality photos, right? You want to have obviously your name there as an artist and basically what you are. For me, I'm a Christian hip hop artist. I'm also a music producer, and that's all that you really need in the cover page of your EPK. Of course, the contact information, you want to have it on the bottom of every page of your EPK, right? So make sure you have that. But this is essentially what your cover page should look like, all right? Now, the next page that you want to have is your bio page, your biography, all right? And not just a biography of who you are as a person. This needs to be a hyper-focused biography of who you are as an artist. Everything about who you are as an artist. When did you start listening to music? Where were you born and raised? When did you start your music career? You know, what led you to doing your music career? Everything about you as an artist, you know, what instruments you play, how long you've been playing them. All of these different things need to be in your biography. So make sure that you put it there, because this is the first thing that they're going to really read about you, right? So you want to make sure it's well written. You want to make sure they understand everything about who you are just through your biography. That's why this is one of the first pages you want to have in your EPK. I recommend it having this as the second page right after your cover page, all right? Now, the next page that you want to absolutely have as part of your EPK is the stats page. You absolutely need a stats page. Why? Because that is a reflection of who you are as an artist. If you cannot show your music stats, whether it be on Spotify, Apple Music, or whatever the case may be, then they're not going to know if people are actually listening to your music or not. That's why this is a very, very important page to have. For me, I just focused on my Spotify page, because my Spotify page is where I get most of my streams. And obviously with Spotify, they actually themselves can verify this, because Spotify shows everybody your stats, right? On Spotify, it'll show you literally how much streams each one of your songs have. So they could actually fact check this right on Spotify, which is why Spotify is one of those primary DSPs that most people use to verify your credibility as an artist, because it shows the numbers right in front of them, right? So you definitely want to have a page dedicated specifically to your music stats, right? Focus on Spotify, show your monthly listeners, show your total streams, right? You know, what songs has the most streams, what album has the most streams. You want to show all your best work on here, right? Don't just show numbers that don't look good. Make sure you find the best numbers that you could possibly find to put on your music stats, right? Don't lie, don't fabricate anything, because again, this thing is checkable, but you want to make sure that you're presenting things in the best way possible to make you look good, just like a work resume, right? So let's say you don't have a lot of streams on your Spotify, right? But let's say you have a lot of streams on your Apple Music, right? Then what I would do is I would combine the two, right? And then I will put the total streams between both of them, or the total streams between all the music strap platforms. That way the number looks bigger. That way the number is bigger on the actual press kit, on the actual EPK. You get what I'm saying? You're not lying. You're just choosing what numbers to show. For me, I just did Spotify because my Spotify numbers alone can vouch for me. But if they can't vouch for you, find another way to do it, but make sure you have a music stats page. Don't be that artist that creates an EPK without a music stats page. So make sure that you have this page. The next very, very important page that you need to have, literally right after the music stats page, is the audience page. Whoever's looking at your EPK needs to know who is listening to your music. What is the demographics? What are their ages? What are their genders, right? What cities are they listening from? What countries are they listening from? Are people actually engaging and listening to your music? My audience page highlights all of those things. It highlights the age, the different ages, and the percentage of them that listen to my music. It highlights the cities, my top cities that people are listening to my music, my top countries that people are listening to my music, and it shows the percentage of males versus females, how much of them actually listen to my music. As you can see, it's well balanced, which means this looks good for whoever's looking at it, because that means I cater to everybody. I can make music for everybody. So whatever station or festival that is looking at this EPK, they're gonna say, hey, he can work for whatever demographic, so I'm pretty sure he could work for mine. You guys get what I'm saying? If it's something that's not gonna look good, like let's say you have 80% of males listening to your music and no women listening to your music, right? Do not add that on your press kit. Or if it's something that you know specific to men, then go ahead and put it there. But if it's going to hurt you, don't put it on there. Only put the things that is going to make you look good to whoever you're presenting your EPK to. All right. I hope that makes sense. The next thing that you guys definitely want to have on your press kit or your EPK is your press coverage. All right. What are other people with credibility saying about you? Press coverage, press reviews. What is the internet saying? What is, blog sites saying? What is other, websites saying? As you can see, for my press coverage page, I have a few different platforms that I actually got actual quotes from. You have to make sure that you get actual quotes from these people, even if you have to reach out to them yourself so that they could quote you on something, or email them, say, hey, can you send me a quote about what you think of me as an artist, whatever the case may be. But make sure that you're getting these press quotes on here, and make sure that they're from credible sources and that they are tied to something. As you can see, some of my quotes are from Holy Culture, which is a Christian hip hop radio station. I'm a Christian hip hop artist, right? Most of these quotes are from Christian hip hop platforms, because whoever I'm sending this to, I want them to see that I am known in the space, in the community that I am in. I make Christian hip hop music. The Christian hip hop ecosystem knows me, and that's why the press coverage is important for you to have on your press kit. Do not avoid this. Make sure that you have this as part of your press kit as well. All right. And then the next thing that you want to have, and probably the most important out of all the other pages that you want to make sure you have, is the call to action page. This is the big page. This is basically when you ask for the credit card. This is basically the page that you get to ask them to support you however you want them to support you, right? As you can see on my call to action page, I have everything. How they could support me, whether it's through listening to my music, whether it's, getting me on bookings, buying my merch, whether it's interviews and podcasts. It's all on here, right? Because these are the different ways that they could support me. These are the call to actions, right? And these are actual clickable links, right? They are actually going to be able to click on these wherever they're viewing this PDF from, whether it's from their phone or their computer. They can actually click on it, on these different links, and take action right away. They could literally click on that Facebook link and follow me right there on Facebook. This is a page you want to make sure you have in your EPK. You want to make sure it's the last page, it's your closing page, right? Sandwich it together between the coverage page and your call to action page, everything else in between. But make sure you have this page as your last page for your EPK. But that's pretty much it. Now, of course, there are plenty of other pages that you can have in your EPK if you want to. It really just depends on your preference and who you are, right? If you're somebody who plays a bunch of instruments, it'll probably be cool to have a page just dedicated to the different instruments that you play, right? If you have music playing on radio stations, have that incorporated in your EPK. Show people the different stations that your music has been played on, right? If you want to actually let the people know who you are outside of your music, your lifestyle, your philanthropy, what you do for your community, that's also something amazing to add to your press kit so that they can get a good picture of who you are, which is ultimately what the EPK is. Like I said in the beginning, it's supposed to be a snapshot or a brochure of who you are, your resume, your logistics, everything of who you are, right? Just like a resume would be for a job, right? Make sure you have these pages. All right, I'm gonna go over those key pages again as in checklist form to make sure that whatever you do when you're creating it, you check these off and you have these. You want to make sure you have your cover page. You want to make sure you have your bio page, your music stats page, your music audience page, your press coverage page, and your call to action page. Do not complete your press kit without these things. And of course, you can have a social media page as well, since social media is big too. Let's say you have a major following on social media. That's something great to add to your press kit. If you don't have a major following on social media, do not add that to your press kit. You be smart about what you add, but whichever the case, whatever press kit you create, you make sure you have those things that I highlighted. Make sure all of those things are checked off, because those are mandatories to have on your actual EPK, your electronic press kit. All right. Now, if you don't have reviews, go get them, right? If you don't have certain things, go get them. If you don't have enough pictures, go get them. Do whatever you have to do to make sure you get what you get, all right? But that's pretty much it. That's everything about what a press kit is and everything that you need in it, all right? Before I let you guys go, I definitely want to let you guys know about my book here, The 13 Steps to Jumpstart Your Music Business. This is for those of you who are simply tired of your 9-to-5 job and you want to do music full-time, right? I've been doing music full-time for over a decade now, and the big reason I was able to do that is because I followed the steps in these books. So if you want to be in the same position I am, you need to grab this book, all right? I have it in ebook form where you can start reading today once you download it. And I also have physical copies for those of you who want physical copies, all right? But all the information on that will be in the descriptions as well. I hope that this video helped you guys understand what an EPK is and how to create it. And of course, I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
I got some giants in my path, but my sling's still swinging. Prayers like a choir, you can hear the angels singing. Armor of God, ain't a single piece missing. Romans 8:31, who against me, they sinking. Enemies plot, but the plans unravel. Scriptures in my holster, that's the only way I travel. Devil want to smoke, but I'm up, no gravel. If I'm going through a valley, no shadow, can't battle. Tell the storm peace, and the waves obey. Faith ain't a trend, it's the roots where I stay. Christ built different, every sin.